Welcome back, everybody, to the Lucky Underdog Podcast. It's your boy CJ Prosise today, and I got my boy. Who we got today?
Karson Hobbs.
My boy Karson Hobbs is in the building today. My young boy out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Is it Archbishop
Yeah,
Moeller? Is that how it's
yeah, Archbishop Moeller.
Archbishop Moeller? Cornerback. Hell of a young guy coming into the class. Really excited to have you. But we got you on the Lucky Underdog podcast. So I first of all, I should explain what the Lucky Underdog podcast is. First of all, for my viewers, welcome back, viewers. I wasn't here last week. I'm glad to be back. My boy Devin and Joe held it down last week for us. But now we back on the Lucky Underdog podcast where we talk about all the guys. We highlight the guys who don't really get the media coverage, who don't get all the reps, but we want to make sure we highlight the guys who in that team underdog who working their way up on the starting lineup and trying to get their spot. So first things first, let me explain what team underdog is. I don't know if it still exists at Notre Dame. It was a big part of the locker room when I was there, when we were there. Me and Devin Butler, other hosts on the show. But team underdog is basically the guys, freshmen, special teams guys who just coming in, trying to get their spot, and you still earning your stripes basically. And you gotta earn your way on the field. You gotta earn your way. You gotta work your way in practice. You gotta work your butt off in practice to get on the field. And so, kind of within the locker room, we had created a group of guys where we called ourselves the team underdogs. And the underdogs, we were the guys who the coaches ain't really like always, looking out for. We ain't get all the special treatment, but we had to work for everything we got. And so it was always two sides. It's underdog and it's industry.
Right.
So you want to make it to industry, right? That's where you start and you got love and all that. Underdog is where you just trying to get it. You still trying to make it. So the team underdog. That's where me and Dev came up with the podcast. Team underdog. We was both team underdog. Where we had to kind of get out the doghouse. We had to work our way onto the field and do our thing. So it's a pleasure having you on the show. Glad to have you, incoming freshman. And so let's start. Let's hear a little bit about what you got going on coming in as a freshman. So first of all, let me start off. What made you commit to Notre Dame? I mean, I'm sure you heard this heard this question many times. So what made you commit to Notre Dame and thought that was a place for you to?
Yeah, man. So growing up, being like I said, my dad already had your jersey, but just being a huge Notre Dame fan growing up, and having pops leave, my grade school little league games to come watch the Irish play on Saturdays, and even I came up to a game as a kid. Like it was just something that I envisioned. So having everything being thrown at you, whether it be offers or having money on the table or anything like that, nothing really ever fazed me. Because when you have a dream and you want to accomplish something, you'll work and you'll do anything it takes to get there. So I felt like with Notre Dame, I knew it was something that was going to not only push me athletically but academically, and then that was real. That was real because in the real world, like you were saying team underdog, but that's a mentality you can have forever, right? I don't
Mm-hmm.
ever want anything to just be absolutely given to me. Like when you work for something, nobody can take it away from you. So, being able to go get that education, like you already once did, and go play on the field one day, that seems much more of a dream come true. But you also make it a reality, being team underdog, and you work hard every single day to get to where you want to be.
Oh man, whew. We might can end the podcast right there because I love that mindset coming in. Man, that's a great mindset. Coming in as a freshman, man, that's huge. And hearing that makes it's positive for me because I'm like, man, you're a real Notre Dame man. Because nowadays, recruiting and college football is not the same as what it was when. I mean, I played 10 years ago. It's not the same as it was when I was playing. So for you to say that, to have that underdog mindset, to not want things given to you. Because at the end of the day, man, it's everything. It's a struggle, man. And it's not easy. You go into one of the toughest schools in the country. It's not going to be easy athletically or academically. So for you to have that mindset, man, that's great. It's you want to be challenged, you want to be pushed, and that's what this life is all about, and that's what this game is all about, man. To really get yourself to that next level, to get yourself to your highest level, you got to be pushed. You got to push yourself to the limits that you don't even know that you got. So I love that mindset for you coming in, man. Absolutely, it's great. That's really great. So you were originally committed to South Carolina.
Yeah.
So what did Notre Dame do to kind of get that flip, or what happened that made that flip happen? What happened there?
I committed being young and dumb,
Mm-hmm.
so obviously that was my first. Gee, it was my first SEC offer at the time.
Yeah.
No, my second, and then it was like nobody from Ohio has a South Carolina offer, so it was just
Mm-hmm.
like one of a kind. And I'm talking to people, and I'm like, dang, I go to campus for the second time. I look at the facilities. I look at what they got to do out there. I'm just like, I just fell in love with it. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
man, like, am I even gonna wait the whole recruiting process out? But mind you, I never had guidance going into college football recruiting. Like, I had
Yeah.
never had nobody in my family that had already been to that level before. So, and, everything I'm doing, it's like I'm the first one to ever do it. So the decisions I make, it's like, okay, who am I gonna ask for advice?
Right.
I'm in the
Mm-hmm.
kids getting offers are in the same grade as me, same boat as me. We really didn't have too many Division 1 prospects above me other than Josh Cass and Brandon White. So it was like they both went to UK, committed as seniors though. I'm 15 years old getting Division 1 scholarships from SEC schools, just like what 13, 14 hours away. I don't know what to do. So
Right.
rather than being patient and letting it all play out and get more and more offers, I went down for the second time on campus. They pitched me everything, the good weather, come here, compete. I was just like, oh, I got to commit. And I did it. And man, within, did I commit in 2022 to North? Yeah. And within the next 4 months, literally, we played our fifth game versus X. And then
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame texted me right after when I was at my friend Tanel Bryant's um,
Yeah.
what's it called, go away party, and they were like, you and your dad want to go to the Marshall game. So we actually couldn't go to that game because we played Saturday versus East Central. So then we came back the next game versus Cal when they won. And then,
Okay.
from that point on, Freeman and offered me, and then they just started reaching out every single day. And then my people from South Carolina didn't like the fact that I went and got the offer. So then they stopped reaching out to me for like 2 weeks at a time. So it was just rare. So I was
Yeah.
like, I don't even know what's going on at this point. So Chad was calling me no, Chad wasn't there when you were there, but Chad's a new recruiting coordinator, and he called
Okay.
me every single day, and so did Coach Mickens. So it was
Yeah.
impossible to turn down your dream school, and they show an insane amount of love and dedication.
Right. Right. I mean, I know that feeling, man. Definitely that first feeling when Notre Dame start recruiting you, like, man, Notre Dame. Like, I mean, for me, I don't. I mean, you probably, you said it was a dream school. It was. I loved it. Growing up, I never knew where it was. So
I
like,
didn't
once
either.
they recruit me and say Indiana, I said, what, Indiana?
Right.
Like, so I thought it was in California or something, but it definitely was not the opposite of that. But so I don't got to ask you about the cold because you already live in Cincinnati, so you already know about that Midwest.
It's like 12 degrees. It was negative, what, 8 with the wind chill last weekend. And
Yeah, I don't miss that at all. I live
where
in
you live
Texas.
at now? Texas?
I live in Dallas now. I don't do none of that. I don't do the cold no more.
Yeah.
I gave up on it. All right, let me see. We got a. All right, so I hear you want to get into broadcasting.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think Notre Dame is going to be able to take you, as far as your career goals on the field and off the field? You think Notre Dame is, the right place for that? I mean,
Oh,
I think
you
that's
know
a.
that.
I think
You
that's
already
obvious.
know
I think that's
that.
obvious question. Yeah,
You know
yeah,
that, of course. We got a
yeah. So you
contract
already.
with NBC,
Absolutely, absolutely.
and
So you already decided on your major and everything.
I think I'm a double major at though. I think I'm gonna do business and broadcasting.
I like it. I
But
like it.
it depends how much work it is though. If it becomes too much, I don't
Yeah,
know. But at the
I'm gonna
same
tell you
time
now.
though, like working for them 4 years set me up for the rest of my life. Like eventually I'll look back and be like, yeah, it was worth it.
Listen, I got a degree from the business school. It's definitely worth it. It's a lot of
It
work.
is.
I'm gonna tell you that it's a lot of work. Um, Absolutely a lot of work. I mean, I'm sure it's still top 5 business school in the country. So it's gonna be, every year it's gonna be a lot of work. But as far as double major, man, as long as if you can put your mind to it, man, you can do it, man. Ain't nothing you can't do it. I mean, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Notre Dame ain't a school where it's gonna be easy, but you're gonna have to. But you can definitely do it. You can definitely do it.
How was business for you when you went the 4 years?
Uh, the business, it's kind of tough. I would say the first couple of years are tough because you're taking classes that you're not really like. I wouldn't say not interested in, but just like you're doing the math stuff, the harder stuff, the stuff that you might not be. I mean, for me, I had a harder time in math. So when I had to take all the math classes stuff, it was harder for me in my first 2 years. But once I got to my junior year, once I was in the classes that I was actually majoring in, I did management consulting. So once I got to those classes, it was a lot smoother for me, a lot easier as far as like the workload. Um, but those first 2 years, it's definitely a grind where you're just kind of going through all the just the like the introductory classes, like accounting, finance, managerial, econ, all the economic classes. So um, you got to once you get through those, and then you're actually in your major, like what you're focusing on, then it gets a little bit easier. But the first couple of years is a grind for sure.
So if you don't mind me asking, what do you do now?
What I do now, I run a business down here. I opened up a gym. Um, opened up a gym about 3 years ago. Once I finished, well, I was still playing when I opened it, um, and then I just finished. And then once I finished up, I opened up a gym and been training. I just train kids, train kids. I coach a couple flag football teams, and then I would do a little real estate on the side as far as like leasing out houses and stuff.
So did you play for the Seahawks, didn't you?
Yeah, I played for the Seahawks, Tampa Bay, and Houston. I don't know why I just forgot that, but Houston, yeah,
Yeah, you were 22 for the Seahawks or 20.
22.
The only reason I know that because I'm a Seahawks fan, bro. I got my whole
Yeah.
room
Hey
decorated.
man,
Seahawks
hey, you're
gear.
12. You're 12, man. I appreciate you, man. That's where my heart. That's where my heart's at. I won a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay, but my heart is with Seattle. My heart
So
is
how
always.
was it being in the league though? Like Seattle's my dream team. Like you live in it, you doing exactly what I wanted to do. Go from Notre Dame to Seahawks. Like that was the dream.
Man, being in the league, man, it's different. You'll find out one day. It's a business. The football side of things is just one side, just one thing. Then there's the business side, and then you kind of figure out. A lot of things have to. Even in college, you'll figure out a lot of things have to come together for you to have a lot of success. And even at the next level, you need even more things to come together. To have some luck, you got to have a lot of things go on with you, and then you got to have everything in order for just to have success. So, man, I would say, just take like right now, just enjoy it. Enjoy your path, man. Just whatever path God has set for you. Take it, run with it. Any obstacles that in your way, run through them. They might trip you up, they might knock you down, but always get back up stronger, ready to fight through the next one. Because when my time in the league, everybody's time is different. Like my time, I had dealt with a lot of injuries. So I know basically every 4 games I would get injured. So a lot of times I would be playing a game, start getting a little rhythm going, I get hurt, and now I'm rehabbing. So like mentally, I was kind of more like looking at the game more than actually playing it. So when I say the business side of it, you just got to understand what your role is and make sure you stick to that role. As far as like but for you, man, I don't even want you to even start thinking about the NFL stuff. Like, man, you ain't even got the college yet. So, and Notre Dame is a place where it's a special place. That you'll get a chance to meet a lot of brilliant people, not just the people you play with, but the domers. They're walking around campus every day. Teachers, faculty. The people you're gonna meet in South Bend, a lot of special people and a lot of relationships that are gonna last the rest of your life. So I'm excited for you, man. It's gonna be a great move for you. So yeah,
That's deep. Like
yeah, man.
that's deep. I'm glad you told me. The real. You always
Oh,
look at the NFL from the outside, and you're like, that's where everybody want to play at. You rarely do the players really speak on the actual experience what goes on.
Oh yeah, it's a business, man, and at the end of the day, and the one thing that I think a lot of people don't really realize is that everybody's hurt. Everybody is playing hurt. Everybody's injured. Like you don't make it to that level without being some type of injured, some type of hurt. So, don't ever let injuries and stuff get you down. Like I would definitely that was the main thing for me. I dealt with injuries all the time, so it was always rehabbing. So, that's one thing that people really don't always understand is that this game is 100% chance of injury. So whenever you gonna get hurt, you're gonna get nicks and bruises. Make sure you get treatment, rehab, and go back and get back in the field and do your thing.
Sure.
Um, Let me see my next question here. How close is your recruiting class? Did you have any guys that you were like trying to recruit, or any guys that you were like, the guys trying to recruit you? How did any of that work out within your class?
Oh, it was just like fam.
Yeah.
Like it was everybody when we all go to campus. It's just like family. I mean, there's
Yeah.
obviously like you always know like even when you were there, you had like groups. Like you had
Right.
like everybody had their own group. But like
Mhm.
when it comes to as a class, like it's always positive energy, positive vibes. Like
For sure.
people like like you could do this with for the next 4 years for sure.
Mhm. And that's good, man. That's definitely at first, definitely that first week. I mean, it's a little different now because I know a lot of your classes are already kind of there, like on campus. But that first week in June when everybody's there, y'all get to really be in college for the first time together, man. It's a fun time. It's not even much to do in South Bend at that time. I'm gonna tell you right now, but it's fun because y'all are there for the first time. Y'all I mean, now y'all got money too, so now y'all got a little money to walk around with, and so y'all gonna have it's a good time because everybody's meeting each other. Everybody's just brand new, meeting each other and having just learning about each other. And it's a good time, and y'all basically looking forward for the next 4 years.
Now I got a question for you. What was your most fun times at South Bend? Because every time I think of it, I just think of football in school, and it's like there's nothing else to do.
I mean, for the most part, there's really not like I mean,
I
especially
didn't think so.
once you get like I mean it's not a party, if you go in there to for a party school, it's definitely not it's not top 25, I tell you that.
No,
It's
I bet.
top 25 everything else, but probably party wise is not.
For
But I
good
mean
reasons, though. Good
but
reasons
yeah,
for
for
it.
good reasons, yeah. But you'll find stuff to do, like trust me, you won't get bored. It's still a college town, it still be places to go out and have fun. um, there's stuff to do on campus. Like there's always stuff to do on campus too. So I mean, don't think just because it's Notre Dame. At the end of the day, like it's not gonna
Well,
be
yeah, you don't go there for the
right.
if you go to Notre Dame for
Exactly,
the party and you go for the wrong reason. Like you
exactly.
go to
Like if
get your degree and be
you
good at
wanted to
what
party, you would have stayed committed to South Carolina.
But
Like
yeah, that would have been different. They
yeah. So it's fun though. Like I would say, probably my most fun time at Notre Dame. I mean, other than the games, like the games, obviously football season, it's like you don't get no more. It's no more fun than that. Like playing those big games, we play against Florida State, it was a top 5 game. Playing against Clemson, top 5 game. Playing in those games, that's when it's really fun. Um, but I'll say as far as like the most fun I ever had on campus was my freshman year. We the year we went undefeated. We were number one for the first time in like 20 something years.
I remember that.
And so they had like on campus. If y'all ever make a number one, they have like a little sign. It's on top. I don't even know if it's still there, but it's on like top of the library. It's like a number one sign. So they had it like lit up the moment when once we like became number one that night, and that was the craziest night in Notre Dame I've ever seen because it was like that night. I think it was like TC. I think it was Kansas State was in front of us, and Oregon was Oregon was one, and Kansas State was two, and we were three, and they both lost like on like last second field goals. So everybody was watching, and we became number one, and the whole you can just hear the whole like school just go crazy when it happened. So that had to be like a moment I'll never forget. Like I was redshirting, and I'm over here. People thought I was like a starter. Like they was raising pushing like had me up in the air like in the dorm. So that was a crazy time. I don't think anything topped that for sure.
That's dope. I'm excited.
Oh yeah, man. You're gonna have a good time, man. You're gonna have a real good time. Let's see. Is there a so let me see. I know that there's always the competition of who's the fastest in the class. So who's got that title as the fastest recruit coming into that was 2024 class? I heard is it Logan Saldate? I heard he's
No, no, no,
no,
no,
no, Logan's
no,
not the
no. It's not even close.
not
No,
even close.
no. And you when you post this or wherever this goes, you're gonna watch this and you're not faster than me.
Oh,
It's,
we got to make
like
sure it's
honestly, I go in order. The fastest is the you talking to him right now. The
okay.
second is Cam,
Mm-hmm.
and three is Logan.
Okay. All right. We got the top three right here. We got the top three. So
I said,
we're gonna have to hear from Cam and Logan then to see
get
if
him
this
in. Like I tell him this every day.
we're gonna have to hear from Cam and Logan who's the fastest. So right now we got you at one, we got Cam at two, and we got Logan at three. Oh man, that might create some controversy. So we'll see day 1 of workout too. If they still got y'all on the hill, let's see who winning those races.
A hundred
I'm,
percent.
I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check back from y'all in a couple of months from now.
Yeah.
But another question I got for you: what are your like expectations for your freshman year? As far as like on the field, playing time. Do what do you kind of expect from coming in?
um, the amount of work I put in, I think, will determine that.
Hmm.
So that's why I work so hard now. It's because it's like when you I just started boxing this off season, and it was probably like one of the decisions that I made just because. But when you work, so hard for something, but you can't see the vision when you feel pain and you get tired, it's just that's when you know it's worth it. Because
Hmm.
I understand that hard work doesn't guarantee success, but hard work puts you in the best position to be successful. So I feel like with that being said, all the hours I put in during the week leading up to going into campus, my goal is just to be getting some playing time, and that's obviously everybody's goal. But I feel like I work too hard to not make it happen.
Right. I mean, that's a hell of a mindset coming in your freshman year. Even for me. Sorry, my son's in the background. If you hear that, if I hear that baby yelling, but for me, even coming, I know my freshman year, it was like I was like a 3-star safety. Like I didn't even really know if I was gonna be what position they're gonna have me at. And so I was like, I know I'm redshirt, and I didn't really have that mindset like I'm even trying to play. Hey, I appreciate everybody tuning into the Lucky Underdog podcast. Well, however y'all catching this, if y'all on YouTube, Spotify, however y'all catching this, we appreciate y'all. We got my boy Karson Hobbs here. He's gonna have a hell of a freshman year and a hell of a career. Y'all be looking out for him when he on campus in June. Appreciate you coming on, my guy, and good luck to you with everything.